Hey friends, I am going to be making a strawberry rhubarb pie. I'm going to be using the rhubarb that I got from my Azure Standard haul. As a Southerner, I don't believe I have ever eaten rhubarb. And the most common way to use it that I can find is in a strawberry rhubarb pie. So here I am. I have got some strawberries that I bought from the grocery store. I tasted them and they are sweet, even late in this season. And I'm cutting these up and I've got these sitting on my scale. I'm trying to reach 400 grams, which ended up being about 1 3/4 cup of diced up strawberries. My rhubarb that I got, I did make some barbecue sauce out of it, just a pint for us to use on some barbecue chicken, and I diced up the rest of it, put it in a freezer bag, and stuck it in the freezer. So here I've got that. I'm clearing out my scale. What I'm looking for in diced or cut up rhubarb is 300 grams, which is equal to about 1.5 cups is what I got. And I'm putting it in here frozen. I think that it'll be fine. I didn't thaw it out or anything. And to this, I'm going to add, it's about 2/3 cup of sugar. The recipe that I got said to use 2/3, 3/4 cup of sugar, but do not go over a cup. And I'll more on that in a little bit. But I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cornstarch, which will be our thickening agent for the juice. And then I'm going to use about a teaspoon of salt. My salt is pink Himalayan salt, and this is what I use in canning and all my salt needs. Salt in my food, cooking. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of vanilla. I sometimes get a little heavy-handed on the vanilla, and that's okay. And then I'm going to mix all of this together. And I really should have gotten a little bit bigger bowl, but it's okay. It works out in the end. I may have some jump out, but that's okay. Whoop, there goes one. I'm reading my recipe on my phone over there. So I'm going to give this a good toss and mix and make sure all the sugar and cornstarch is coating all the fruit pieces. And to this, I'll be adding a teaspoon of lemon juice. I'm going to get this all tossed up. I let this sit for probably about 20 minutes. There's my pie crust. I'm poking holes in the bottom of it with a fork so it doesn't bubble up. And as you can see here, as I'm dipping this with a slotted spoon, I am getting a lot of that juice off. This was my first mistake. I should not have done this because essentially what I'm doing is I'm straining off a lot of the sugar and the cornstarch and the vanilla flavoring, the salt. I'm straining off the goodness that you need in here. And my recipe said to do this, but after the fact, I should not have done this. I should have just poured it all in there. Because of the cornstarch, it would have thickened up with this extra juice in there, and you needed that sugar. But, you know, you live and you learn. This is my first time making anything like this, a rhubarb pie. And now I know. But I spooned all of this in there, and then I'm going to take... Look at all that juice goodness I should have put in there. Okay, so if you're making this, you add that juice goodness in there. That sugary juice, it needs it. So I get that kind of all even. I'm going to get a tablespoon of butter and just dab it all over the top. Just cut little chunks off and try to get it, evenly over the fruit. Okay, and here I am going to put the top pie crust on. And I'm just going to tuck in the top pie crust underneath the bottom pie crust and kind of just go around crimping. As you can see here. Okay, I've got all the crimping done, and I'm just going to slit with my knife some vent holes to allow the steam to escape. And then one X in the middle. Voila! Now I'm going to get a egg yolk. I'm just going to get the yolk out of it. And I had no reason to save this one egg white. I don't have any that I'm saving, and one egg white wasn't going to do me any good, so I just went ahead and chunked it. And I'm going to mix up the egg yolk really good. Now my pastry brush, I may have said it in another video, I had lost the handle. The handle came out, and I was going to Gorilla or super glue it back together, and then I lost the handle. So I've just got the bottom part, and it's fine. It works just fine. So I'm going to give this a good brush over with the egg yolk so that we can get a golden brown crust. And then I'm going to make sure that I get the edges really good. And the recipe calls for, in a 425 degree oven, you're going to put the pie in and let it cook for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you're going to take the pie out, you're going to lower your oven to 350, and then you're going to put one of those crust shields on it. And I don't have a crust shield to put on it, which is it just shields the outer edge of the crust from getting too brown because it's sticking up. Oh, and here I'm adding some sugar on top. But after the 20 minutes, when I take it out, I'll just make a crust shield out of some aluminum foil. And then you're going to put it back in the oven, and you're going to cook it between 30 and 40 minutes until the top is really good. I took that extra juice that I should have used and just heated it up on the stove top with a little bit more sugar. I've got my timer set. I put the pie in for 20 minutes. And here we have the end result. There's my little makeshift shield guard here. Looks good. Now folks, if you're making this at home, I would definitely add that juice or add more sugar to it. It was very, very tart. It was really too much tartness for me. It'd been great if I had some vanilla ice cream on it. That would have cut the tartness, but I didn't. And so, excuse my mess on my counter, but it was very tart. I would have added more sugar, but I can see where it would be a very good pie if I had more sugar. But guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and give me any pointers if you know about strawberry rhubarb pie on what I did wrong. Thanks, guys.